How do I recover from a cheating spouse? Yeah, it's going to be one of those videos, guys, but I know that this is something that a lot of people are dealing with. There are people out there that are hurting. They may not seem like they're hurting. They may not say that they're hurting, but they are. And they are because the relationship that they were working on, the relationship that they've spent so much time investing in, has now been brought down to nothing, essentially. When a person steps out, they go directly against the romantic illusion that a lot of us have. The years of bliss and harmony, right? The growing old and happy together, the ride or die kind of thing. All of that is shattered when you find out that your spouse, your partner, stepped out on you with somebody else. It causes a lot of mixed emotions. We go through anger. How could this person do what they did to me? Don't they know the kind of person that I am? All the things I've done for you? And then, of course, the more obvious one is depression. Sadness. I can't believe that this person would hurt me like that. I can't believe that they would take my feelings and just throw it to the wayside. And then there's confusion. I thought everything was so good. Where did it go wrong? Was it something I said? Was it something I wasn't doing? You may even begin to question yourself. And depending on how the details of the whole situation came out, you may start comparing yourself to that other person. You may start buying in now to the noise in the market. Oh, maybe I should have been giving him more sex. Maybe I should have been doing less of this. Maybe I should have been doing more of this. Maybe I should have taken so-and-so's advice. And so I know that there are a lot of people out there who are trying to heal and move on from a spouse that has cheated on them. And I just wanted to give you guys some basic steps. It's not going to be all-encompassing, but just some basic steps to try move that healing process in the right direction. Okay? So, the first actual phase or step is dealing with the initial discovery that my spouse or my partner has cheated on me. Okay, this is an emotionally tumultuous time. I mean, this is the point where you hear people cursing, where they're acting out of character, where they're just crying, they're angry, they're sad. There's just this barrage of emotions. It's important to understand, especially if you're a friend or you're helping to console someone that's hurting. Don't give them advice right now, okay? You just need to make sure that the environment is one of support. Too often we seek refuge in friends or people that don't really understand what support is. Support is not meeting me at my emotional intensity. If I'm coming to you on 100, right? You're supposed to be the calmer. You're supposed to be the one that brings me down from 100. What people do too many times is we start feeding into all of this emotional stuff. Yeah, girl, you need to go break up his car. Yeah, but you don't need to let these girls get you down. What? Let me tell you, man. Some of our friends and family have done so much more harm than the actual person that cheated on us. And it's sad because we don't have these supportive structures anymore. And so who do we turn to now, right? Which is also another reason why I want to create this video, because I know a lot of people can't turn to persons that they can trust anymore. And it can be a hard time when you're dealing with your emotions. And so you got to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with supportive people, okay? If it's not family, hopefully it can be friends. If it's not friends, then maybe you should seek professional counseling, maybe in the likes of myself or someone else, okay? So the second part about dealing or recovering from a cheating spouse is understanding where the relationship is now heading, okay? A lot of times when a person will admit to cheating, we usually try to jump back into the bandwagon to continue on as things used to be. But we got to understand that once you cheat on a person, you submit and you forego all of your previous engagements. So guess what? If y'all used to have pizza night on Friday, that no longer exists, okay? If you all used to have a dinner date maybe on a Tuesday or some day, that no longer exists, okay? You have to redo, reset, and restart the rules of engagement now because the trust has been broken. That also means that as the person who's done the cheating, you have to remove yourself of the expectations that things are going to pick back up as they were. This is why a lot of people find it very difficult to really heal, because it requires a hell of a lot of patience. And I'm not just talking about patience in the general sense of the word. I'm talking about emotional patience. Because sometimes you're going to find yourself getting frustrated that maybe this person isn't moving on as fast as you would like them to. Well, they're not your feelings. You understand? There is physical patience. understanding that the passion, the intimacy is not necessarily where you would want it to be. Again, it's not your feelings. The rules of engagement have changed, and this is why people that cheat don't necessarily understand the damage that it can cause to their partner, you know. But we got to understand that everybody's a different person. Things take time. You know, the way I may perceive a certain situation may not be the same way you perceive a certain situation. And if we truly care about that person, we would not make it about ourselves. That's what we do wrong too. A lot of times when we're in relationships that are faulty or rocky and a person steps out, we usually like to blame them. Oh, you're holding on to the past for too long. Oh, you need to learn how to let things go. Which is true, but you need to understand that you are a facilitator of that process. The way you meet your partner, the kind of emotional tone, the way you present yourself, the humbleness, the ability to hear the emotion, that's going to determine the speed with which you help your partner recover. And so it's not always just about the victim. Sometimes it's about the perpetrator as well. And so that brings me to kind of like this third phase, which I don't want to call the final phase, but it's the last one I'm going to give you. It's restoring trust. After two people have decided that, you know what, we're going to give this thing a second try, we're going to jump back into it, we're going to try and make this work, there has to be a restoration of trust. But the question is, how? People don't understand, but this is where the admittance of what happened has to be done. A lot of times when people admit to cheating, that's all that they do. They say, well, baby, I cheated. But what people fail to do is they fail to admit the details, exactly how it happened, and the underlying causes as to why it happened. See, we can't ever move forward from hurt unless we understand the motivating factors that led that person to go out there and cheat. Was it because you're not physically attracted to that person anymore? Well, you need to talk about it. If that person's gained weight, maybe they stop taking care of themselves, maybe they stop doing those small little things that you really enjoy. You need to communicate that. Maybe this person now has began treating you differently. Maybe they stopped talking now. Maybe you don't communicate as much as you used to. And so you feel like your partner wasn't emotionally available. And so you fell into the arms of a friend who began talking to you, and then what happened happened. See, we have to be brutally honest here, okay? Because if we do not start off from a place of pure honesty, then why build on faulty grounds? Why give this relationship a second chance if we're not going to be honest from the get-go? You would be doing yourself a disservice, and you would be doing your partner a disservice. And too often, we don't want to talk about the hard issues because of shame and embarrassment. When a person gets caught red-handed cheating, they are embarrassed. They are ashamed, and so we try to do damage control by sparing details, you know. But trust me, at that point, you have nothing to lose. It's best that you just say what happened, say why it happened, and effectively communicate that to your partner. Because a lot of times, we don't talk about the things that matter until there's trouble, you know. Until there's trouble, you know what we say? Oh, it's just nothing. Oh, we'll talk about it later. Oh, I don't appreciate you doing that. And we talk about it in a facetious way. You know, the tone says that we're not really serious about it. But it's not until trouble happens that we really start talking about the issues for the first time. This is also why you find that people who do give relationships a second chance after cheating, they usually become a bit more passionate. The intimacy is deeper because for the first time, they're communicating about the things that truly matter to them. And so, it's not impossible to move on from a relationship if there has been cheating, but you just got to understand that it takes a lot of work, a hell of a lot of work. You know, I don't want to say it to discourage you, but it's almost like walking uphill, and that road is wet. We have to do a lot of work to get back to normal, and then only once we've hit normal can we begin building and building and building again. And so for that reason, guys, you know, I just wanted to create this video to kind of help or start that process of healing, because I know a lot of you guys are hurting. I know a lot of you guys are questioning yourselves. You may be thinking it's all about me, where did I go wrong? But I want to assure you that it's not always about you. There are other people out there that are hurting just like you, and you're not alone. Okay? So guys, if you have enjoyed this video, or if you know someone maybe who can benefit from it, give it a like and give it a share so someone else can get this message too. Alright? I'll take care.